Hi, this is Brian Van from Sport Bike Track Gear, sportbiketrackgear.com. We're going to do part 2 of the Shark RSI helmet video. This is where I'm going to pull the whole helmet apart, show you guys the nuts and the bolts from the inside out. First thing I want to talk about though is look at this cool t-shirt. After much badgering, I finally broke down and I had some t-shirts made. I'm pretty proud of it. Looks good. Visor. This uses, the Shark, like they call it, the buzzword I think is push one. Okay, it's a good visor mechanism. Push right here in the center, bam, pops right off. Repeat on the other side, bam, pops right off. And it feels good, it feels sturdy quality. We've got a 2.2 millimeter thick fog-free shield. Good shield, blocks the UV rays, all that cool stuff. Okay, breath deflector. Grab it here on the edge, pulls right out. When it locks in place, there's kind of a ridge here on the bottom of this. It's secure, it locks in there, and it comes out. It's not going to fall out or anything like that on you. Well made, nice piece. Let's go to the chin curtain right here. Grab it on its back edge and kind of pull. This one's in there pretty good because they actually use some clips to hold it in place. It's kind of a mesh piece, so it allows air to move in and out, and this kind of works just to keep the wind nice and calm here in the chin area. You can take it out if you like. Personally, I leave mine in. I think it improves the performance of it or any other helmet. Now the removable, washable, replaceable interior. We're going to start with this cheek pad. Each cheek pad is held in by 3 snaps, and then there is a plastic piece that slides in between the EPS and the helmet liner. To remove it, we're going to start by disengaging the snaps. There's one up here in the front in the cheek area, one at the top over the ear, and then one kind of in the back at the ear area. I'm going to show you where they're at after I take the cheek pad out. Disengage the 3 snaps. Pull the helmet strap through. I like to grab it here, the cheek pad, at the back. Just pull it right through. You can kind of grab it at the back or the front, either way. Give you a nice 360 here, the cheek pad. Quality microfiber style, top end fabrics are used, and you can really feel the difference when you're wearing the helmet. Like I said, the snaps are good quality. Keeps the cheek pad in place. Let's remove the other side. Just going to reverse the procedure that we used there on the other one. 2. And number 3. This time I'll grab it from the front. You can really do it either way. Pull it out. Pull your helmet strap through. Voila, there's cheek pad number 2. Top pad's a little different on this one. We've got a big plastic piece that slides in a channel between the EPS and the helmet shell here in the back. Kind of grab up on your liner, give it a tug, comes out pretty easily, okay? And then kind of get your hand underneath the liner, and I like to actually get my index finger and my thumb sandwiching this plastic part that slides in the channel up here at the brow. Give it a nice tug. As you can see, this is stitched to, a plastic piece that slides and clips into a channel. I mean, I suppose you could go tugging on this. Personally, I wouldn't recommend it. You spend a lot of money for the helmets. The interiors, obviously aren't free. So you don't want to abuse it when you pull it apart. So by just getting your index finger and your thumb sandwiching on that plastic. Here's our top pad. Lots of padding, nice quality foam. Our experience with the Shark is after repeated use, the foam doesn't break down and the helmet doesn't end up changing sizes on you. They break in quite nicely. You want to start off good and snug with no hot spots or real pressure points burning on you. And then give it a little bit of time, it'll wear and it'll be perfect. Nice quality top pad there. Let's look at the EPS from the inside out. This is one thing that's very unique to the Shark line. And Jeffrey is at a good position there for the helmet. You're zeroing in on the Shark fins. The EPS is actually, it's channeled out, and they refer to the fins as the Shark fins. Those are energy shock absorbers, if you will. When you have an accident in one of these helmets, what they want to happen is they want the shell and the EPS to absorb all the energy and shield the user from it. These are all ECE 2205 certified. We feel that's probably the best certification in the world at this point in time. They absorb lots of energy. Let's see if we can zoom in and catch the ventilation holes in the EPS, Jeff. Good spot for that? The helmet flows a good amount of air. It's very adequate, at its given price point. This is a quality helmet, the RSI. Now let's show you how it goes back together. We're going to start with our top pad. Kind of grab it, dip it in. Like I told you before, we've got a little channel here at the brow area of the helmet. We need to slide this piece in, and you're going to feel it clips in very positively, so you know when it's in, okay? Getting it back together is certainly a little more difficult and complicated, if you will, than pulling it apart, but I guess it's that way with pretty much anything in the world. It's always easy to take stuff apart, and sometimes a little more difficult to get it back together. That slides right in, no problem. Get in there nice, using your fingertips, slides right in, nice and easy. Let's grab a cheek pad. You need to start by pulling the helmet strap through the hole provided in the cheek pad. Go ahead and get that all the way through. Let's go ahead and grab our retainer there, slide it in the channel a little bit. Now before I really push that down, I kind of want to get my snaps lined up. So I find that you usually need to push back just a little bit on that retainer, slide it in the channel, and then kind of go ahead and tuck that in there nice and tightly with your fingertips. You'll actually feel it dip in between the EPS and the helmet shell. And then I will confess, these snaps on this one, they're a little tricky, to get back together, but I wouldn't say that's really a negative, because the reality is you don't do this every day. This is, some maintenance that you'll do once in a great while. Even though it's a little more on the difficult side to reassemble, not a big deal. The snaps are quality. You can really feel that when they're engaged, everything feels like it's together and it stays together, so you know when they're in place, which is nice. I've seen some of the other brands out there that, when you're reassembling, you really can't get a good feel whether the snap or not is engaged. And some of them, after repeated disassembly and reassembly, don't hold very well. And that hasn't been the case with the Shark line. I've had my RSR2 apart a couple of times to let it dry and wash and put back together. I've had zero issue with it. It's something that we like to do in our demoing is actually do that a few times, wash the helmets, and just see how everything holds up, because that really is part of it, for the customer. I mean, you're going to invest, hundreds of dollars in the helmet with the intention of being able to pull it apart and freshen it up, if you will, with a little washing, perhaps even a new liner. We just want to make sure the stuff is quality and it affords for the disassembly and the reassembly without any issues. There's 3 snaps, like I said, on the back of each cheek pad. You just kind of, I found that it was a little beneficial if I just, look through the eye port here, kind of tilt it around, helps me find a couple of the snaps, get them engaged a little bit easier. You can really feel when they snap in, and that does definitely help. One more snap. Bam, there you go. Chin guard. Go ahead and slide that in between the chin EPS and the helmet shell. Just kind of up here at the front, you can really see the 2 big retainers. You just need to push those right by, and then get a nice push in. A little harder to push that in, but it really stays in place. Let's just say that chin curtain certainly is not going to fall out when you're riding. Okay, that's back in. Got a little breath deflector here. And that just kind of slides in a channel here. Just kind of center it up, the nose piece here, center it up with that vent. Go ahead and with your thumbs, just kind of push it right down in the channel. You can tell when it's bottomed out. Not a problem there. Let's grab our shield. Now this shield, if you notice, I'll show you here, if you just push, it's not going back in, okay? You need to actually push in on the release, and then push, it goes right in, okay? And then I found with the other side here, if you kind of support it against your body, hold on to the shield, push in, bam. Test it up and down, piece of cake.